everyone, and welcome to another episode of From No Crypto to No Crypto. I'm your host, the Crypto Coach, Blockchain Wayne. Today we're joined by the Carnomaly team. Scott, Larry, Jordan, thanks for joining us today, guys.
Hey, thanks a lot for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having us.
Awesome. So we're definitely going to find out more about Carnomaly and what you guys are building there. But man, I'd like to get some background. So before we jump into that and what you guys are doing at Carnomaly, I guess let's start with Scott. Can you tell everybody a little bit about your background, Scott, and maybe what you did prior to jumping in this space?
Yeah, so obviously, Carnomaly, it's an automotive company, so spent 18 years in the automotive industry running dealerships, sales, finance, general manager, general sales manager, just kind of wore all the hats in the store. So really learned a lot about the automotive industry and wanted to bring that into this space and saw a lot of opportunity to branch out and then build some ideas, build off some ideas that I've had over the years being in the car business and really make something that's unique and, just like the name says, car anomaly, different. So that's a little bit about what we're doing.
All right, awesome. Larry, how about you?
All right, Larry Colieber, spent 2 decades in the auto space, mainly on the software and product and services side, mainly from training, installing, and creating product. Team up with Scott. First intro call was about this time last year, wasn't it? Right, 2 weeks before the 4th, I think. And then, through discussions and finding out what Scott was trying to accomplish, decided to come on board with Carnomaly as the CPTO.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Larry. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, my name is Jordan Hoffey. I've been involved with projects on Avalanche C-Chain, obviously Matic now, and another one that we're doing on Base. But I met Scott about a little over a year ago, I'd say, doing some light advisory work, and then we teamed up and got a couple of objectives done on the project, and then he asked me to hop on as a strategy officer, and been rolling with it ever since.
Awesome. So let's dive in because I'd love to know more about Carnomaly and share with anyone listening what you guys are doing there. Because I like to focus on not just what can we do with this tech to launch another coin, another token, another Web3 product, but to solve a need, right? And I know you guys are doing that there in the automotive space. So Scott, can you tell us a little bit about Carnomaly, kind of what brought it to be?
So, have been in the business for 18 years and being on the dealer side, but also being a consumer myself, just learned all the pain points of the automotive industry on both sides. There's both consumer pain points and there's both dealer pain points. So one of the things we wanted to solve was how do we make buying and selling cars easier, simpler, where people have more confidence on the consumer side, but then also how do we make it for dealers where they're not being kind of pulled in different directions by the third-party companies, because that's very frustrating. Dealer point that a lot of the consumers don't see is the dealers have to deal with a lot of these third parties that kind of get involved and kind of change things and make it more difficult for them. So the whole thought was, how do we simplify this, make it easy? How do we make it where users can buy and sell cars with confidence and dealers can get in contact with these users, and these users have the confidence to know that they're going to get a good deal, they're going to get treated right. So that's kind of the concept, and everything is tied to blockchain. It's all basically a lot of anonymity in our process until you finalize a transaction. So consumers are able to get offers, get bids without having their phone blown up, text message, email, things like that. And then once they make a deal, then they'll make contact with that dealer to finalize that transaction.
Okay. Now, Jordan, Larry, I don't know if one of you guys want to take this, but and Scott touched on it briefly, but why does this need a blockchain? Like, how does a blockchain come in that it really can solve some of the needs of building a great product with Carnomaly?
I'll hop in if you don't mind, Larry. I think one of the primary aspects of the blockchain, it's a direct delivery mechanism between companies and consumers in a different method than just getting an email and getting a coupon. having the utility token not only supply the utility to interact on the platform with what the mechanism causes, it allows you to get rewarded for interacting on the platform. So we have a couple of them in place they're outlined in the white paper, which we recently updated the white paper in the last year. Really proud of that, and it's going to have the aspect for that, but also the having the car repository recorded on the blockchain is another important piece as well. So you can actually look back and see, when cars were maintained and X, Y, and Z, and rewards distributed for them there. And it also opens the doors for new businesses to get involved lightly on the blockchain. You could have like a company specializes in just changing oils, just have us focus right into their point of sale system, and communicate with the updates, letting them know that this car has been serviced and rewards have been distributed. The sky's the limit, but put simply, the transparency of the blockchain to show when cars are serviced, and also delivering rewards to the platform users.
Okay. Now, do you see this
another
being?
capability,
I'm sorry, go ahead,
if I could, Wayne, is you read about, like, out in New Jersey, out in Vegas, and in California, where people at the DMV are sitting there and changing the titles for people. So we've can get into validating this information on a blockchain where it's in the ledgers. It cannot be manipulated or changed. We can validate that this is the owner of this vehicle, that a title action has not actually occurred with it, to prevent vehicle theft and other fraudulent activities that are happening in the automotive space.
Right, and that's whether it's there, if somebody's trying to manipulate maybe an odometer or something, and you've got an on-chain record of services showing the mileage history, right? So am I looking at that correctly?
Right.
Cool. Nice. So when I think about this too, you mentioned other businesses, Jordan, like oil change places. Do you see another big major play being like mechanics and auto body shops?
Oh,
Major
absolutely. Yeah,
repairs?
that's just kind of like just the simplest example that came to my mind. There's the blockchain has a lot of, I guess, the utility the blockchain is going to give from a lot of businesses that have their tippy toe dipped in Web3, is plugging into the current legacy point of sale systems, and communicating with them, and having the right amount of, I guess, transparency between the ledger and the blockchain and what's going on. We see this in the financial system already. If you're into crypto, obviously, you're starting to see it happen in the medical field with EMR systems, and it's only logical that you'll see it in the service industry.
That'd be good to see, man. I think back to my early days of buying vehicles, and I remember one vehicle I bought, and the owner was saying that this had been changed and that had been changed, and everything else was brand new. And it took me about 6 months before I realized most of that probably wasn't the case.
Right.
It also allows
Yeah, so
consumers to interact with the vehicle history report without having a facility to perform that update. For example, if somebody wants to go down to AutoZone and buy their oil and filter and do their own oil change, with our software, they're going to be able to update that on their vehicle history report by showing video verification and photo verification of those items that they performed. So right now, that currently is not an option in the vehicle history reporting realm. So being able to bring that to life is because of blockchain, and then also going across multi continents. Right now, vehicle history reports really are just stuck to that area that you live in, and with a blockchain, you can take that vehicle history report across multiple continents. So if a vehicle is exported or imported in from somewhere else, that data and that history can stay with it.
nice. So you better tell if it was stuck in a flood in Dubai, right?
Right.
Yeah.
During a conference, right?
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. So it sounds like, I mean, it's definitely solving. I see the need. I see the problem it solves. But it takes a lot of participation, right? From dealerships, users, other people within that chain, whether it's a service chain, supply chain, maintenance. So what is the plan? How do you engage with all of those, or what's the plan to get more people to participate? Because obviously participation is key here, but really, I guess that's the key with any platform, right? Your best data is going to be provided to all the users when you have, everybody participating.
Yeah, by creating reward mechanisms for consumers and dealers to interact and use the software. Also, by creating a deeper database, a bigger, broader database that allows them access to more information, so that dealers have more, access to more vehicles. They have, access to really gaining more vehicles on their lot and acquisition piece. So there's a lot of different benefits for the dealer side and for the consumer side. So building this, and the idea was, how do we make this where both sides benefit from the interaction of the platform? So it helps consumers get better deals, have simpler process, buy with ease, sell with ease, and it helps dealers to acquire more vehicles and have more access to that data for the vehicles that they want.
There's an additional piece to this too. I spent most of my career over the past 20 plus years setting up these workflows, right? Workflows, a process and activity that takes place over time. And these weren't 1, 2, 3 weeks. They were 30, 60, 90, 120 days, up to more than half a year, to where I may have already purchased that vehicle, but you're still getting an email to your box. The sales reps are still required to pick up the phone and text you. Over communicating. There is a group of people that are alienated. I saw it all the time visiting stores, heard the chatter out in the showroom or out on the lots, where this is pure anonymity for the user to scan my vehicle, upload the photographs, request a quote from a dealership in my area, and get a truly anonymous bid on my vehicle from dealerships that are wanting those vehicles, that want to get it into their inventory. Dealers are now, you hear, well, there's lots of dealers that have inventory on the lots. Yeah, well, they're still selling it just as fast, to where they just need another lead funnel to get these vehicles on their lot to sell to consumers, and they want to get these quality pre-owned vehicles. And if I can do it as a consumer that was irritated by the phone and text, the emails, and I can do it in an anonymous format and be truly upfront and forthright in the condition of my car, the nice clear photos, not a spaceship or alien photo, right, where it's all jiggly. So, and I can get that. I can create an NFT on the vehicle if I want to. And like Scott mentioned, I can upload and, upgrade the maintenance that's on my vehicle versus waiting to have it at a certain place that other tools may happen to get or not get, and just have a truly transparent view of my vehicle and what the condition is worth, and just getting the value for my trade.
One last thing I would add to this, Wayne, is part of the design of the platform is to have a little bit of I guess modular in some cases for potential companies to come in and work with us. So if you're AutoZone, you could say, hey, Carnomaly users that are have some tokens locked up in the system that are utilizing the platform to its full ability. We want to give them 10-15% off this month or for this quarter of the year. So the platform is open to strategic partnerships. I'm not saying AutoZone's one of those, obviously, just an example, but it's open to give a platform for those companies, and then their company also becomes a platform for our users, and they would advertise us in there. So the right traction, it'll definitely be a very organic growth.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I've seen this whole crypto Web3 space have the biggest potential when it comes to direct marketing, right? Being able to hit the people that you want without, think about email lists right now. That's how most people reach. Mass email marketing, email newsletters, and even the email newsletters I subscribe to, man, I don't open them all because there's so many. But if there's an app I'm using frequently and it can give me a promotion that's relevant to what I'm doing there, that would be important, and without sacrificing all of my data, or next thing you know, I'm getting a bunch of spam emails, spam phone calls. So I definitely see the value in that, and how you guys can use that to make things anonymous, but still be able to bring value to both sides.
Absolutely.
All right, Scott. So you and I have talked. We've talked in the past. And Carnomaly, can you maybe share a little bit about the history in terms of, because you guys, obviously any business that's especially evolving in a new tech space has had to pivot, and it's have you had to make any of those major pivots along the way as you were building out Carnomaly with your team?
Yeah, I would say that we going into this space, we've learned by trial and error things to do, things not to do, and the company was incorporated in July of 2019. So next month will be 5 years. So we've really been building this for the last 5 years. So to have just that 5 year longevity of a startup, to get through that first 5 years and go through COVID and go through, all these ups and downs that we've had and different things, I think it shows the resiliency of the team and the pivoting ability of the team, or, we're able to audible and make changes, really how do you get into Web3? How do you integrate this? And those more ideas. I mean, we have so many more ideas that, the development team, and especially Larry, I keep throwing out ideas and they're like, whoa, slow down. We've got to finish what we've, is on our plate right now. We've got to get these things done before we can continue to build out more stuff. So, man, we've got just a ton of ideas and a ton of fun things to really make this company just what it is, an automotive anomaly, buying and selling cars, making people enjoy that process, simplifying that process, make dealers, have easier processes on their end. So, I would say that definitely we've learned and evolved and made some changes along the way.
All right. So what can you tell us, maybe what's coming on a roadmap that you guys can talk about, anything that people should be on the lookout for with Carnomaly here in the near future?
So we've got Larry, if you want to kind of go over where we're at with the launching of the app and the dealer portal, because Larry's, man, I see him up at 3 o'clock at night working with the devs sometimes, just knocking out little, sprints.
Yeah, old habit. So, so we're releasing the version 2 of the mobile app. It has the capabilities that we've tweeted out. Follow Twitter, on Carnomaly on Twitter. As far as creating and generating the NFT, logging the vehicle, getting a quote, and then in-app messaging. So you don't have to create a sign-in account, right? We know that you downloaded the app on your phone. We can communicate with you back and forth. That truly is the point of the anonymous product and services that we offer our users. You don't have to create a sign-in. Now there's other things that you will have to do to create a sign-in, right? To go ahead and mint that NFT, update your maintenance, update your insurance, etc. But the big thing for us is we have hand raisers, several dealerships. I just set another one up today in Dallas, a Park Cities dealership, and they're going to be coming on board as beta dealerships, going live here at the end of June. So to go where we've been in the past to where we are now, we're finally getting this live and in dealerships where they can take an agnostic trade. They can put their aged inventory up in an auction or bidding format to other dealerships, other buyers, maybe the small pre-owned and rental companies that want to put inventory out there. It's for an entire business-to-business marketplace, and that's where we're driving to. It's not just to create an additional funnel for quality pre-owned vehicles to put on a dealer's lot from consumers and other dealerships, but other people, buyers and wholesalers that have inventory that they need to move. Even if it's a dealership group that has units in Dallas, but they also have dealerships up in Denver, out in LA, or New York. So that's the big piece right here, is providing an avenue for these dealerships, buyers and wholesalers to get that inventory where it needs to be in a location it needs to be. I don't need a 4x4 pickup truck driving around in downtown LA, but I do need them if I live in Dallas, Houston, or Austin, right? So that's the main piece right there. And then moving on to the secondary piece is, getting, like Jordan mentioned, the additional utility for the car token to fulfill our products and services, whether it's insurance products and services that we are in the infancy stage of talking to additional vendors, to creating the maintenance uploads, documenting your insurance, a checklist if I'm in an accident, things like that that really benefit the user and provide utility for them to use that app, and then also use the car token.
Gotcha.
Did I cover it all, Scott?
Yeah, I think so.
Because here's what we're doing, but with Scott and ours conversations sometimes at midnight or 1,
I bet
that list has grown. So that's another thing that we're doing is, we're documenting everything. And then as we go through and we iterate into the future with the product, is what's next, right? What's the usefulness? Who's going to use it? And how they're going to use it. And that's the decision that we make on everything that we're.
There's so much opportunity in the space, just so many different opportunities to grow and collaborate with different projects and different companies. So we've been in conversations with warranty groups, warranty companies about offering different blockchain type warranties and having different warranties offered through our product that can be tracked, because so many times people have a warranty on their car and they sell it or trade it, and that warranty is still valid, but it never gets transferred because people don't know that there's still warranty left on the car. So different things like that.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And then,
that's good
one
stuff.
little piece, getting back onto, product development and our developers, Andrew and Danny, they put a video out. We're going to have them do another one this week. Is they are full stack. They have a really good synergy between them, so they can shift, and the other one can pick up the slack, because these guys have been around for many, many years. And Automotive, they're learning. Scott and I have, tutored them to learn the business, and we're just really excited about the development staff and where we're going as product emerges and grows.
Nice. Sounds like some good stuff coming. So what about the token? So as a user, say let's talk about utility on both sides, right? Why would I want to buy the token to utilize it, and when would I want to actually spend that token?
Well, there's a couple things I talked about earlier, I hate repeating myself in some cases, but some of this will overlap. The main aspect of the token from the user, let's just say, I'm the basic user. I want to hold the token because of its utility. I want to utilize the token on the application. We have a nice little a graphic on the white paper that kind of shows the ecosystem, and it really shows the idea of a single side staking mechanism. So a lot of projects offer staking and such, and we'll have that as well. You'll get a little bit of token back for locking up your tokens for X amount of time. But while it's locked up, you'll unlock all the perks and rewards that the ecosystem has to give. Going over to interacting with partnerships, you're receiving the discounts that they may be offering. On the dealer, there's even I guess you would call it the enterprise side and the user side. Dealers will have their own perks for locking up the tokens and unlocking the software, paying their monthly fees in the token, and using the car dealer software that'll be out. There's a whole plethora of it. The white paper does a great job of showing the baseline of all these different utilities that you can do with it. The sky's the limit, obviously, in growth with that. We really have, the other projects I've been involved in. There's you can kind of see the where you want to go, but you want to give the explanation in the white paper that's relatively technical, and then also relatively the sales brochure that's appealing to the eye of just a normal person who's not technical. So we want to find the right balance in that, and I think it's in the white paper, and I think the utility that's going to come down the line from buying, selling, trading, and maintaining your car is it's going to do nothing but grow.
Yeah, and then
That
like you
makes
were
sense.
saying, you can add. We've been adding features to the utility of the token, and we will continue. So, for example, we have NFTs of one of your vehicle, so where you can take a picture through our app of your car and actually turn it into a digital version of your car, and you're only going to be able to get that with the car token, right? And then dealers, for paying their monthly service fees with the car token, will get a discount on what they would normally pay if they were just paying without the token. So those are just some utilities we've added in the last maybe two quarters or the last quarter. So we're always thinking of different ways we can add more utility and more function for the token.
Yeah, that's the key.
The token, obviously, it's meant to there's so many tokens that are just meant to stake, not utilize, and then sell when you're done staking it. It's
Right.
like it becomes very very gimmicky. And technically, it doesn't matter how technical your project is or the quality and utility behind it, you can still always do that. But I think what happens is what we're building here is an ecosystem that, like me as a father, when my son would be old enough to drive, I'm going to want him to have the Carnomaly app so that, I can see that he's taking care of his vehicle the way he should be. And I know he's getting, rewarded for doing it. And I think that just the inherent idea of that is the utilities baked into it. It's not like, hey, son, make sure you get the car token and stake it so you can, sell it later. It's meant to be utilized, and it's what's being built.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna have to use that. My I've got a couple of kids driving already, but I got another one that's about to start driving, so I'm gonna have to get them on that. They're familiar with tokens and earning because I've got a couple of them with the Helium phone, and they're earning tokens to pay for their phone bill, so they understand that concept. But yeah, I mean, utility is important, and I'm definitely going to link to the white paper in the description of this podcast, or wherever you're listening or watching this podcast. You'll have a link to the white paper and the Carnomaly stuff. But that's important. You mentioned ecosystem. I mean, that's the key word, right? You're right. So many people, their tokenomics, it's one-sided, right? You buy the token, you stake, you earn, but why would others want to buy the token? Why would others want to be selling the token? You create that circular economy, and I think you guys have that with dealers, with users, with other service providers, to where you can continue to create a circular economy. Do you guys see, Scott? This is probably a question for you, but do you see one day where people are going to be buying the vehicle with Carnomaly tokens too?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the goals. Obviously, is to have it where we want it to kind of be the currency, right? Not currency, the currency, so people can use the token to buy cars, pay for service, pay things like that. So setting up those partnerships down the road and making it where people can do that simple and easy, and it's all done on the the up and up the right way is definitely on the roadmap, and definitely something that we want to do in the future.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. So as we start to wrap up, let's definitely share. I mentioned I'm gonna have the white paper linked here, but can one of you guys maybe tell us where we can find out more about Carnomaly and follow along? I think Jordan, you mentioned Twitter already, but what's the main website and where to click into the other socials?
Carnomaly.io is our site, and then also Twitter's. We have Facebook, but I would say that's the main place to go get information.
Gotcha. Nice.
Larry, you were saying
All right,
something?
guys. So as we start to wrap, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, Carnomaly.io. It has the information for Carnomaly as a whole, car dealer, and the other products that we have out there, and it's kept up to date.
And the app is live. If you want to download the app, is that on Apple and Google as well?
We're finishing that final QA on the mobile app version 2. We have about 40 hand raisers that are going to get it within the next couple days, and then it's going to roll live at the end of the month. And it's going to have the capability to, do all the things that I described prior.
Yeah. So looking at the scheduled time, this should be published by the time everybody's by the time it's ready. So unless there's any delays, it should be ready to go by the time this podcast is out there.
Nice.
It'll be ready.
All right, guys. Awesome. So I guess let's start with you, Jordan. Any final words, man, before we hop off?
Really? No. I guess I'd say we have this interview coming out. We'll be doing more in the future, and as the application gets rolled out, I'm sure there'll be other little media events that we do, and we just encourage people to join them, and any ones that are live or comment on this, we'll do our best to either take those comments or the questions into other AMAs or answer them here wherever we can. Wayne, you reach out to us and say, hey, this is a really good question in the comments section here. We'll hop back and address it. So I just say we welcome all questions, and we just look forward to growing the community.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan. Make sure everybody to follow along with what's going on with Carnomaly. Larry, any final words before we hop off?
Well, yeah, just looking forward to getting this out and in the dealer's hand. This is the brick and mortar side of the company with the software and, of course, the app, how they work together, message in between, in-app messaging, and really get into the point of now announcing not only incremental product, but the number of trades that we've taken, the number of vehicles that were auctioned, et cetera, and all that good stuff for the product.
Absolutely. So if anyone's listening to this and maybe they're a dealer or they know someone like, hey, I'd love for my favorite dealer in my hometown to get on board with this, should they just direct them to the website and fill out an intake form or get started?
Yeah,
we do have
also-
a contact form.
Yeah, and also when the app comes out, and if there's not a dealer, because we'll be testing in certain areas and regions, and as we grow, if there's not a dealer, they'll be able to submit it and to a dealer, or say that they want to get involved, or have a dealer get involved. So
Nice. Awesome. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Scott, so any final words before we wrap up?
no, just excited to get everything rolling, and just everyone, remember this logo, because it's going to be what you see and remember when you're buying and selling cars.
There you go. Absolutely.
There you
I'm
go.
going to get one of
I'll
those
put my
hats, Scott. There you go. Larry's got, that's a nice hat, man. I'm a hat person, if you can't tell. I'm always wearing hats, so I have to get me one of those as well. So
Same here.
guys, it's been a pleasure having you on today. Definitely great learning a lot about Carnomaly. I challenge everybody listening or watching to get into Carnomaly, find out what's going on, at least follow along. Just about the majority of us listening are probably vehicle owners as well. So this is great. We're purchasing vehicles, selling vehicles. I don't think there's I don't think there's much of the market that isn't involved in those types of activities. So this is a good product, good project that's coming out and been out for a while now. So make sure to follow along. So that's it, everyone. Thanks everybody for listening, and thanks you guys for joining us. We'll catch you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
Wayne.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.